Did you know 70% of true crime podcast listeners are women? People searched for true crime over 738,000 times just since 2022. But here's the crazy part. We're literally wired to be obsessed with murder stories. Really, there's actual science behind why people binge-watch serial killer documentaries at 2 a.m. It all starts with our caveman brains. According to evolutionary psychologists, these crimes have been part of human society since our hunter-gatherer days. So, our ancestors who paid attention to dangerous stories were more likely to survive. It was crucial for our ancestors to understand the who, what, when, and where of potential threats to protect themselves and their families. That makes total sense. Your brain is basically running a survival program from 50,000 years ago. And that instinct hasn't disappeared just because we live in safe suburbs now. What it means, if you ever wonder why you can't stop reading about a murder case, remember your brain thinks it's gathering life-saving intel. But wait, there's more brain science. There's dopamine connection. When we consume true crime, our brains release a cocktail of adrenaline, endorphins, and dopamine. It's like our brains are getting high from murder stories. Kind of. The fear response triggers our fight-or-flight system, which releases these powerful chemicals. So true crime is basically legal brain drugs. Research shows this creates what's called morbid curiosity. Our brains actually prefer negative stimuli because they provide stronger emotional responses. That explains why you choose the most brutal documentaries over rom-coms. Okay, but why are women 2.5 times more likely to consume true crime than men? Multiple studies found that women are drawn to stories that feature female victims and provide escape strategies. So, women aren't just watching for entertainment, they're researching survival tactics. Research from Spotify shows over 73% of true crime podcast listeners are women, and they're specifically looking for blueprint for survival information. Women face higher risks of certain crimes, so their brains prioritize this type of threat learning. It's like women are unconsciously attending a self-defense class through Netflix. Studies found that among true crime fans who've been crime victims, 33% said consuming true crime helped them react better to the incident. Ladies, your true crime obsession isn't weird. It's strategic threat assessment and survival preparation. But there's another powerful psychological driver, our deep need for justice. 63% of Americans say true crime makes them more vigilant and safety conscious, while 54% believe it improves understanding of the criminal justice system. So we're not just thrill-seeking, we're trying to restore order to a chaotic world. Research shows people consume true crime to search for a sense of knowing and understanding, so the world doesn't feel so chaotic. Plus, we get emotional satisfaction when the bad guy gets caught. It's like our brains are running a cosmic balance sheet. Every solved case helps us believe justice still exists. And when cases remain unsolved, it drives us absolutely crazy because our justice-seeking brains can't find closure. If unsolved cases stress you out, remember that your brain's demand for justice is actually a healthy psychological response. But how does puzzle solving work in our brains? True crime stories structure themselves like mysteries, with the killer's identity revealed at the end, encouraging listeners to examine evidence. So, are we basically playing a giant murder mystery game? Exactly. Research shows our brains love puzzles and having problems to solve. It's intellectually stimulating. When we figure out clues before the reveal, we get a dopamine hit from successful problem solving. Here's something fascinating. True crime gives us what researchers call controlled fear exposure. Serial killers allow us to experience fear and horror in a controlled environment where the threat is exciting but not real. It's like adults playing with the boogeyman. We get the thrill without actual danger. But wait, there's also a social element to this obsession. True crime creates communities of amateur detectives who share theories and discuss cases. It's like joining a massive book club, except everyone's trying to solve murders. Research on parasocial relationships shows people form emotional connections with victims and even investigators. Our brains are information-seeking machines. True crime satisfies our hunger for novel information about human psychology and criminal behavior. We want to understand what makes someone capable of committing horrible acts. It's like psychological archaeology. Research shows this knowledge-seeking actually makes us feel more in control of our environment. The more we understand criminal behavior, the safer we feel in our daily lives. Studies found that 50% of Americans believe true crime helps solve cases that wouldn't have been solved otherwise. By the way, the numbers on true crime growth are absolutely insane. Netflix has had 8 true crime documentaries hit #1, holding that position for 58 total days. Documentary consumption grew 63% between 2018 and 2021. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a serial killer documentary calling my name. Just don't forget to drop your comment about what's making you fall for true crime all the time.